Welcome in, Lucky Lefty Podcast. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Onora boys, we're in the building. We're brought to you by Onora Whiskey. That's OnoraWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure you do so
responsibly.
You got to do it responsibly. What's good, LL Nation? Lucky Lefty Podcast. Shaun Davis, MALIK, ZAIRE. Talking more fell camp. Players, coaches, pressers. Deuce tonight. The offense. Texas A&M loses a starting running back, a key running back. We'll talk about all of it. Get to the bag. Questions. Super chats. Hit us up. Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. Lucky Lefty Podcast, patreon.com/Lucky Lefty. Also, audio edibles each and every day. CFB Nation, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Home of the Misguided Passion. Committed to making sure that we continue to spin it different. How was your weekend, Left?
Good, man. It's 2 weeks before the football season, so everything's coming to a head. Getting excited.
Did you really want to come on this show today? I don't think you want to come on this show today.
I always want to be on the Lucky Left.
You needed another day?
Hey, it's all good. It is all good.
Right. I mean, your boy, man, he had to be saved twice in the semifinals and the gold medal game.
Saved? That's a stretch.
You want me to find another adjective or a verb to describe what we watched and witnessed?
How can you say that?
Consecutive games?
What about it was saved? He's 40 years old.
Now, here we go. Here, first of all, you use the age as an asset in your argument. Now you want to use it. I mean, look, just admit Euro Ben Wallace broke him. Just admit it. Euro Ben Wallace broke him. It's okay.
He's a gold champion. He's a gold medal champion. You can't break a gold medal champion, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying, look, it's all good. No problem, Left. I'm just telling you, man, he was broken by Euro Ben Wallace. That's all I'm saying, Left. He couldn't get right. After that moment, he could not get right.
Euro Ben Wallace is crazy.
That's Euro Ben Wallace. Absolutely.
But mission accomplished like we knew it would be when LeBron's leading the team.
Oh, like we knew it would be. Like we knew it would be with LeBron leading the team. Okay. I like the way you played that. Lucky Lefty Podcast. So we're going to hear from Max Bullock. We're going to hear from quarterback coach Gino Guidugli. And we're going to hear some of the players, wide receivers, linebackers. Left, the question of the day. I have an interesting question, and it is absolutely motivated by what we watched over the weekend. I can say it early. Noah Lyles is going to be on the petty train. He's definitely going to be on the petty train, not because of the whole Adidas, Anthony Edwards debacle, not going to his party, and then the crap excuse he made, like I had previous engagements. Like, man, shut up. You know how to stop through a party for 20 minutes and bounce and go to another party. So let's be real. But Noah Lyles is on the petty train, and we can get to him early, Left, because he went to the Olympics screaming loud that he was about to take track and field to the next level and he was going to become the superstar of the U.S. track team after the 2024 Olympics. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you watched the Olympics like we did, but I can quite honestly say that there were 3 or 4 superstars on the female USA track team that came out of the Olympics looking bigger, brighter, and better than Noah Lyles, in my opinion. They're the true superstars. I mean, dude, what they did in the 4x400.
Oh,
dude, when you can be the only team in the TV screen and everybody else is that far back, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you leave him in the dust.
Yeah, your man, he's out there, dude. He runs the 200, comes in third, goes and sits, already has asthma. Mama's running down from the stands. It's an entire spectacle. And then 2 days later, he's in the club after it's announced that he has COVID. Help me understand. Please help me understand. If you have COVID, my brother, why are you in the midst of a club? Why are you kicking it like that? Or maybe people just think COVID is like, you almost look like you're about to die after running a race.
Yeah, look pretty crazy.
Yeah, man. So, Petty Train, Noah Lyles, without question. I have more concerning this LaFraud coming up. I'm gonna have more about LaFraud coming up.
LaFraud?
Yes. Yeah, LaFraud. I have more coming up, second half of the show. We'll get to it. Lucky Lefty podcast. But Left, I am very interested in fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. And it's not a question, but it is the LL fill in the blank of the day. And it is Notre Dame is getting close to fill in the blank. Notre Dame is getting close to fill in the blank. Is there anything that immediately comes to your mind, Left? Notre Dame is getting close to.
I think a dominant team consistently. I think we've been stuck in the neutral for a long time, and we have got bored with that success, and it's time to take that next step. And Marcus Freeman's time so far has been, I think, progressing towards that. So will be is something I think is on the docket. Is still yet to be seen. I think year 3 is just a pivotal year for Marcus Freeman.
And speaking of pivotal years for Marcus Freeman, I think it's very important that Notre Dame is getting very close to being in a conference. I think it is closer than it's ever been. Not because of anything Notre Dame has done, but I just think the powers that be are starting to close the door more and more with the fiscal decisions they're making, building of the super conferences, and the playoff expansion. They are eventually going to put Notre Dame into a corner where Notre Dame is going to ultimately have to make a decision. And I don't even know if Notre Dame really has. If Notre Dame really got ballsy and saw the ACC and what's happening to it, and almost came in as a savior to lead and kind of reform and reshape its own conference led by Notre Dame to kind of avoid having to run to the Big Ten. And Notre Dame, to me, just doesn't fit in the SEC. I think that could be something.
Yeah.
But I think Notre Dame is getting a little bit closer than it's ever been to having play ball, enjoying that conference vibe, to be involved in the college football playoff. I think also Notre Dame is getting closer to signing a top 5 recruiting class on National Signing Day.
Okay.
I think they're getting close. I think they're getting closer. I think they're learning lessons. I think really what they have been missing, especially some of the key spots left, is on field and NFL draft visuals, on field production, NFL visuals. That's really what's missing from the wide receiver recruiting, right? And most people will point to the previous 2 years and what was done in recruiting by the former wide receiver coach. And then you look at the redundancy. Like all the receivers basically did the same thing. And so you look at that and you say to yourself, yeah, it was a really good job of recruiting. I don't know if you were really a great developer of players at that position. So You know, what do we do in that situation? But I think Notre Dame needs, as long as the stench of freaking Charlie Jones hovers above the Notre Dame wide receiver room, and them not having a player drafted since I believe 2020, something like that. That is crazy, left. So, you know, that's hard to fight, especially when you're going after 5-star, 4-star talent. That's top 50, top 75 talent. You know, the powers that be, the Alabamas, the Georgias that have the resume of on-field production, draft success. That's what they're going to say. Show me someone that Notre Dame has developed. Show them to me. Even if you have a Chris Mitchell pop, next cycle, they're still going to say, show me someone that Notre Dame actually evaluated, recruited, developed, and got to the draft. It won't be erased simply by this wide receiver room, but this wide receiver room this season can help close the deal, possibly flip some kids for the wide receiver room during the season, and then go into the next spring and end up with some of the commitments that's needed in that wide receiver room in the 26 cycle. So we'll see. But I think Notre Dame is really close to consistently being a top 5 recruiting class.
Yeah, they have an opportunity to do something of that sort. I think the key is definitely going to be the on-field play. And they need to see guys pop into the league. If you're a Cornell Tate, you need to see a receiver room that's producing multiple first or second round guys, multiple guys in the conversation for the Biletnikoff. Great track record by your receiver coach. So a lot of the outer layers of recruitment Notre Dame has been good at. It's always been the on-field, can I see myself in that situation? And offensively, our receiver hasn't been that. That quarterback hasn't been that. And when you look at what's been our biggest issues at those two biggest positions, well, look at how it's been since. So it has to start with the play on the field. We talked about how Ohio State was a program changer. The Ohio State was a program changer because having receivers be the lead in that game, winning that game, shows that, yes, you may not see everything, but what you will see is when we're playing against the teams that can make a difference and how you view us, we're coming and we're showing up.
You know what? I think Notre Dame is also very close to having a top 10 offense. I think Notre Dame is very close to having a top 10 offense. And let me specify. I think Notre Dame is very close to having a top 10 scoring offense. I have to specify, right? Because people will go to various stats and offensive stats. Some believe in total yards. Some believe in yards per play. Some believe in other measurables, other analytics. I'm just going to say total offense. I think Notre Dame is very close to being a top 10 total offense. It wasn't too far off that we thought we wouldn't see the data. Notre Dame was a top 10, top 5 defense, right? And Al Golden has gotten the job done. He's gotten the job done, and then we'll see moving forward. But I think they're very close. You know, I really believe in what they've added at the skill positions. I really do. We're going to hear about that from some of the defensive players and the quarterbacks, how impressive the speed now is in that wide receiver room in comparison to previous years at Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, top 10 defense was out of sight, out of mind due to the one or two things we were missing. Now it's on the offensive side of things to get that same one or two missing things fixed. And I believe we have through recruiting. Now putting it together is a whole nother process, and it's a 2-part thing, but we definitely covered the first part. And this should be the easy part because recruitment has definitely been the difference maker in college football.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, you know, when you look at the fact, once again, we can point to Notre Dame has to take one step. If Notre Dame takes this one step, and Left, I'll let you take it from here. If Notre Dame takes the step offensively in big games, they're going to be a top 10 offense. Right? We asked Notre Dame offensively to put up points against the teams they're supposed to beat. They did that last year. Right? Where did they struggle? Ohio State, Duke, Louisville, who was a better matchup and better opponent than I think most people thought prior to the season. Really good defense last year. I don't know if they can repeat that with the number of transfers and additions to the roster that they have this year at Louisville. But they're going to have a chance, right? And the schedule this year does not give them the opportunities, that Ohio State opportunity, that narrative changing opportunity in the regular season, right? If they come across that Texas A&M hurdle, as we said before, just based upon the revenge factor and being the home team, I think they're really going to take care of business against Louisville at the end of September. And then we have to wait for what we all hope is a top 10 matchup when Florida State comes to South Bend in November. That's what we're hoping for. Top 10 matchup when Florida State steps into South Bend. That's going to decide a lot. It decides seeding. It won't impact ACC championship or conference standings for FSU, but it definitely could impact seeding. So when you talk about a team that averaged, just take away those 3 games that I talked about, right? You're talking about a team that was just short of 40 points. And I honestly don't think the quarterback play, even in those games, was at as high of a level as it could have been or should have been, in my opinion. We already know what the wide receiver room was last year, right? So you're telling me with, the disappointment of Sam Hartman, the disappointment of the wide receiver room, they were still able in those games. Brian Driscoll did a fantastic job of writing an article about this. They broke records. They broke offensive records, right? And we asked them to stop being in fourth quarter games with lesser teams and MAC teams. That's what we asked of Marcus Freeman in the offense, right?
Yeah.
They did that. What's the next step? Putting up 30, 40 points in big games against big opponents. Put up 30 or 40 points against Texas A&M. Put up 30, 40 points against Florida State, and put up 30, 40 points against USC. That's the next step. Because they blew teams out that they were supposed to blow out. They did that. Continue to do that and take the next step in big games against big opponents. And now you can go from scoring 37 points a game, which they did with subpar. They put up 37 points a game with subpar wide receivers, questionable quarterback play, and the poor performances in those 3 big games that we talked about against credible defenses and credible teams. So, once again, if they take that next step, that's why I say they're close. They're close. They're closer than they were last year, definitely from the additions to the wide receiver room. I think most people would agree that the quarterback room 1 through 4 is probably a little bit better than it was last year.
Yeah.
And I definitely think most people.
Yeah, Rico Flores, a true freshman, are number 1 going into some games.
At some point, yeah, because of injuries and other things, yes, that was the case, Lefty. Unfortunately, that was the case. So to put that young man in that position, it kind of stung. I didn't like it for the young man because I felt like it was kind of unfair. It was kind of unfair to judge him on that. It really was. It was unfair to judge him on that. So moving forward, we'll see. We'll definitely see what they can do and how they can attack that. Lucky Lefty podcast. GTB questions. We had a couple. Let's jump into it. And thank you for the super chat, MTH. My toddler loved Sorry Not Sorry yesterday. Got the ice cream flight. Thanks for the recommendation. They need to cut you a commission check. Hey, MTH, I'm telling you, left went and snatched it from me. He took him and the family, they went. And then MTH, what did you get? What flavors did you get? Let us know. Because Left, you didn't get the bumbleberry, right, Left? You got something.
No, I tasted the bumbleberry. I didn't get the bumbleberry.
But you said the bumbleberry was hidden, right?
Bumbleberry was on point.
Okay.
It was just the first one I had. If it wasn't the first one I had, I probably would have got it.
But that's what's up. So MTH said, yo, he took the kids, toddler that he loved it, or the toddler loved it. And hey, that's what we do. You're always going to get food analogies and food recommendations right here on the Lucky Lefty podcast, mixed in with a little Notre Dame football. Let's see, our boy, D-Monk, Mr. Food Lover. GTB question, outside of the quarterback, is there anyone else that we could see in the Heisman race at the end of the year? Left, you want to take that one?
I think it's pretty open. I think this is the year of the backups, the year of the refresh of college football. I think we got those old COVID guys out of there, those guys with the years on them. Now we get to see the rebranded version of college football with fresh transfers leading the way. And I think the market of quarterbacks has changed the landscape of college football. I think more teams are even. Obviously, it's a super top-heavy Georgia, but everybody else is floating right underneath. So it'll be an interesting year.
How do you feel about this group? And you know what, Left? I don't know about you, man, but I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm gonna be honest. 1 through 6 or 1 through 5, I was really impressed with what I saw from all of the rookie quarterbacks in their debut, bro. I really was. I don't have anything negative to say about anyone, bro. Anyone, including JJ. I think all of them showed that it's a chance. Do you know why, Left? And please go into this, because I think sometimes people miss on this. This might be the first draft where literally every quarterback that was drafted in the first round went to the best place for them.
Yeah.
That's a rarity, because you have a lot of teams that jump up and reach. Teams didn't do that. They allowed the board to dictate. They stayed pat. They stood pat. They got their guy. But it seems like every quarterback, JD, Washington, Caleb, JJ in Minnesota. You got Michael Penix look really good in Atlanta. Bo Nix, it seems like he's really a perfect match with Sean Payton out there in Denver. It really looks like for the first time, all of these first-round quarterbacks went to the place that suited best for them. So that's a great sign.
And oddly enough, guys have, fit into exactly where they could have went. I think if you had to guess without knowing the draft order, everybody went where they seemingly fit personality-wise.
Yeah.
I think J.J. McCarthy, he couldn't go anywhere else but Minnesota. I think Caleb Williams in Chicago Caleb Williams looks like a Chicago quarterback. Jaden Daniels looks like a Washington Commanders quarterback. Bo Nix 100% looks like a Broncos quarterback. I mean, these guys fit from face to toe, head to feet, exactly like the teams that they're on. And when that happens, the good things happen because of that. Brock Purdy looks like a 49ers quarterback. I mean,
that's facts.
I mean, he looks it's like if you had to think of a Kyle Shanahan guy, Brock Purdy's the fit. So I think everything comes back to football being a fit, and Deuce Knight fits Marcus Freeman.
Lucky Lefty podcast. So, Left, one other thing that I think Notre Dame is close to is making a run in the college football playoff. I think Notre Dame is close to making a run and being a legit contender for a national championship.
Yeah.
I think it's on the horizon. I really do. So look forward to that. Lucky Lefty podcast. We usually don't do this because we have really kind of changed the way we deal with people, but Papa Smurf, man, you could either be a grown-up in the chat, because we say all the time, you can disagree, but the personal attacks and insults, we don't do that. So either you can clean up your act and just like everybody else, enjoy the show, comment, give your opinion, but that whole goofy stuff and all that, we don't do that. If it's not something that you're cool with, you're more than welcome not to enjoy anymore. That's fine. We understand that. But what we respect is we respect each other. So all of that goofy stuff and all of that name calling, we don't do that. Not right here. We joke around. Our boy Roosevelt jumps in. He shoots shots at us as a University of Miami fan. We have other people from other fan bases that jump in and talk a little trash. I got Sid Irish from up there. We talk and mess with him about Duke, and he talks about the Notre Dame offense all the time, but he's a Notre Dame fan. You know, we have fun on this show. We have fun. And I don't like blocking fans. I don't do that. I know other people would do that, lock you out, block you. I don't do that. I just like to respect people and give them the opportunity to be grown-ups. And so that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Hopefully you can abide by that, and then we can have a fun show. Lucky Lefty podcast. I'll make sure I cut that out of the CFB Nation feed. So what is Notre Dame close to? What is Notre Dame close to? If you have a super chat GTB, we'll get to those things immediately right here on Lucky Lefty podcast. So it's time to talk about the quarterbacks, right? Quarterback room. It is something that I think Marcus Freeman is going to always be known for, how quickly he was able to turn around the fortunes of the quarterback room and the talent in that room. I like to give huge kudos to Gino Guidugli, but also I would like to give huge kudos to Tommy Rees, because Tommy Rees, honestly, Tommy Rees was flirting with certain people that may be in the quarterback room this year. I'll just leave it at that. I don't think this past offseason was the first overture made to certain quarterbacks in the Notre Dame quarterback room. That's just my opinion. I'll leave it at that. So with that being said, Gino Guidugli, quarterback coach for Notre Dame, he met with the media, Love, and I'm very interested in you and your thoughts on what he had to say. But Gino Guidugli was talking about the quarterbacks and how things are looking. Listen to what he said about the quarterbacks in his room, Love.
And when you got four guys in a room as talented as we've got, like, they understand each and every day they got to bring their best.
What's the one thing that stood out to you in the couple weeks of practice with each of the quarterbacks?
You say, like, individually? Riley Leonard's dynamic with his legs. I think everybody kind of knew that coming in. We didn't get a snapshot of that in the spring due to him being out, but has the ability to extend plays and then loosens up defense with the threat of quarterback run. Steve Angeli's super consistent, kind of understands the offense, understands our personnel, is super accurate passing. Kenny this sprint or this fall camp has developed a sense of urgency. I think he's understanding and seeing defenses better, putting us in good situations in terms of protections and some of the things that we're tapping out. And then CJ's he's aggressive with the football and lacks no confidence.
Well, he seems pretty happy with the room, Love. I have to keep it a buck. He seems pretty happy with the room.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's under fire right now, so you get to see a lot of guys in comfortable positions of getting better. There's not a scoreboard keeping points or championship dreams on the line right now, so this is just a training ground. So everybody looks good when you're just training. I think how you determine if you have really made that Next stage is how you are by week 7, week 8, how you are in these big games after everybody's done coming after camp, after you done went through a couple stat tests through the year, after you done had a couple finals, a couple papers you had to stay up late for. Then you get to see, the decision making turn into something that's a little more challenging throughout the year. So when you go into football every day and you have to worry about nothing else, you should look pretty good. So I think, what stood out in terms of the consistency that Steve has had is, that's his greatest strength. We talked about that going in. And when you talk about continuity, that's a great cousin of consistency. So I think that, we talked about it, Riley Leonard is impacting with his legs. He didn't say Riley Leonard is throwing dimes. He said Kenny was making some good decisions throwing the football, and even CJ, super aggressive with the football. You only say that when you can throw the football really well. So, Riley being super explosive with his legs, we know that. But does that make the Notre Dame offense better this year? Does that take the Notre Dame offense to the next level this year? Does that open up Denbrock's playbook to throwing the ball more if Riley's best attribute is being explosive with his legs? So you should do what the strength of what your players give you. And I think, like I've talked about, Riley Leonard isn't going to turn into some Drew Brees just because the team and the situation got better. I do think that he'll have a better stats year, but in terms of the reflection of how this offense changes, it's still yet to be seen because of his own limitations. So I do think. Go ahead.
No, I was just, you're right, Left. I think about that from a collegiate standpoint, where it's a little bit easier to impact the game with your legs and be more dominant. Of course, when you go to the next level, eventually you're going to have to play on time and be accurate in the pass game and put up points through the air, especially in the red zone. But, for me, it is very telling that the comments he made, especially about the two youngsters, I know directly you personally have had conversations with Kenny Minchey. And I think one of the things that people worried about because of the personality of Kenny Minchey is we can't tell the urgency. We can't tell whether or not he really wants it. And, there comes a time where the rubber hits the road, especially at a school like Notre Dame, and especially at a position like quarterback, where it's either a fall camp or a spring camp, where it's like, okay, it's now or never. Like, this is where I'm going to make my hay. This is where I'm going to make my mark. And this is where I'm going to let everybody know I am here. And it seems like, based upon, because I feel like what Gino had previously said about Kenny and pressers has changed based upon what he said about him in that clip we just put.
Yeah, and I think that it comes with maturity and comfortability in the offense, and Gino Guidugli sees that progression within Kenny, and that's all you can ask for. I think, his test is going to come when he gets into the game and makes these decisions. That's the true measurement. And I think other guys in the room have been battle tested, and decision making in practice is a key of getting on the field, and it seems like he's on his way of doing that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So when you talk about Riley Leonard's legs, and people see, this is why you have to be cool, right? And Gino is going to talk about this in the next clip. Matter of fact, let me play the next clip, Left. I'll play this right here. This is Coach Gino Guidugli talking about getting Riley Leonard back, getting him involved in the running game, as he said. That's something he brings to the offense, but also Riley Leonard begging to be live in fall camp, begging the coaches to be live. Let's hear from Gino Guidugli.
He's begging me to go live. I'm like, "God, you just missed off spring. Like, we're not going live." But like, just coming out the first day we went live, which was Saturday or whatever, I can't even know what day it is. The other night when we had the night practice was like our first real live opportunity, and he's like, "Coach, talk to Coach Freeman and see if I can be live." I'm like, I'm not even going to entertain that with Coach Freeman. Like, that's not an option. But that's him. He wants to be competitive. He wants to be one of the guys, and like, for him to play as much ball as he has and want to be live in fall camp, I think that speaks to the competitor that he is and the tough kid that he is.
How you feel about that, Left?
I mean, honestly, of course you want to be live because that's your best gift is to run the football. You don't see anybody that throws the football well talk about, yeah, let me be live, coach. No, Riley feels like if I'm live, I can show my worth to the team because I can get busy with these legs. I can make a guy miss. I can take a hit. That's how I earn my stripes on the team. I'm not going to earn my stripes out throwing CJ, throwing crazy dime passes. And that's not – he needs to find a way to get a one-up on the quarterback competition because he feels, rightfully so, that he's the best physical runner in the room, and he is. He knows that the other guys in the room can't hang with that. Yeah, y'all can go to the video blogs and say I can't throw well as these other guys, but none of them guys can run like me. So damn it, coach, we live, let me get live one time. Because when they can't tackle me and I can make these plays and I can run around, I know them other guys can't do that. But any guy that is throwing for 4,000 yards, 4,500 yards, 3,500. CJ Stroud not asking to be live ever in practice. Are you kidding me?
So you mean that cat Jack Cohn never asked Brian Kelly to go live?
Come on. Did Sam Hartman ask ever to go live? Come on, let's be serious. Let's be serious. Did Sam Hartman, this is just last year. We took last year. Did Sam Hartman ever say, hey, Coach Freeman, let me go live in fall camp? No, because Sam Hartman's like, listen, I made my money throwing the football. I got 500,000 yards in college football history. Like, I'm in the record books for throwing. I'm not trying to get hit. Why? That don't make no sense. But it makes sense for Riley's style of game. And Gino's like, yeah, I'm not entertaining that crazy. You trying to get me fired? Yeah, I know that's your strength, but I'm not about to lose that strength right now. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're supposed to be getting better throwing the football. That should be your concern, not going live.
So now
what's making this football team better is throwing the football. That's why we went and got all these 1,000 receivers and the coaching change, and because we're trying to throw the ball. You talking about coach, let's go live. You're not trying to throw the ball to me.
Yeah.
Because if you try to throw the ball, you trying to stay clean. You trying to, going live mean, oh, somebody coming, I'm finna take off. But if you do it not live, it's just like, oh, okay, that could have been or could not have been a sack. You're down. Hurry up, let's run another play. You know what I'm saying? You benefited the doubt, because that's not the strength of your game, which is fine. But like I said in the beginning, Notre Dame takes next level in this college football stage, throwing the ball. Throwing the ball.
Yeah.
If we have another season of a passer under 3,000 yards, we haven't gotten better, in my opinion. We haven't gotten better. We literally have had the winningest quarterback of all time average under 3,000 yards passing. So we've already seen and been there, done that. The next guy that comes in to make this offense look different is a 3,500-yard passer. At minimum. If we don't see that, we don't see a change in the offense. We might as well get Jared Parker back. Hell, Jared Parker be better with Riley Leonard. So if we're not 3,500 yards, we didn't get better at that position, in my opinion. And this for changing the perspective. Carnell Tate, a prospect like him, is going to look at the end of the season and be like, how many yards he throw for? What are the receiver numbers? He's not going to say, oh, Riley Leonard was there last year. No, he's going to say, how many yards y'all throw for last year? Oh, 2,900 in today's game at Notre Dame. Oh, y'all run the ball. I don't want to go there. Just that fast. You think Jeremiah Smith was ever considering Notre Dame?
No.
Like for Notre Dame to be a top program and to give Jeremiah Smith an offer, which they have, do you think Jeremiah Smith ever really considered it? Knowing that Marcus Freeman's there, they're going to be a good team, this and that. No. An elite receiver like Jeremiah Smith is saying, how many yards y'all throw for? Oh, y'all have Marvin Harrison Jr. do what? Win a Biletnikoff, win first round. Oh, okay. That seems like a fit for me. What we going to show Jeremiah Smith at Notre Dame? Hey, we scored almost 40 points a game. How'd y'all do it? Oh, Sam Hartman threw for the least amount of yards in his 5-year career. At Notre Dame? Yeah, our all-time winning quarterback is under 3,500 yards every year since he's been at Notre Dame. Jeremiah Smith's going to be like, them numbers is real skimp. And I'm supposed to go to the league? I'm supposed to be our receiver one? Ain't no way. So, yeah, we don't have – Riley Leonard's not 3,400 yards or better. What can we really say that we got out of this? We already a 10-win team. We already passed that. So we're not needing 10 wins. 10 wins for Riley Leonard as an individual is great. He ain't never won 10 plus at Duke. 10 plus game Notre Dame is like, yeah, okay, but what else?
Riley Leonard is in a really good position. Let me explain why. You know what I figured out? And I figured this out, and then I heard Carmelo Anthony with Sue Bird on the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast. They were talking about the Olympics before the Olympics. And Sue Bird was saying, you don't realize how difficult the Olympics are when you're bringing everybody together that are players that normally play with the ball. Everybody that comes together either is the number one option on their team or they constantly play with the ball. And now everybody has to play a specific role. And you have to learn this specific role. And she said it's an uncomfortable feeling the entire time. She said the entire time you're playing in the Olympics, it's an uncomfortable feeling. We just happen to be that talented that we can still win being uncomfortable all the time. She said the only people that are comfortable are the scorers. She said they're the only people that are comfortable because they don't have to worry about anything else other than scoring, which makes sense why Melo held the record in the Olympics because he's a scorer. That's all he does. KD goes over there. He's a scorer. Guess who just broke Melo's record? KD. They're comfortable. Everybody else is playing roles. We're doing the same thing we do all the time. Can Notre Dame win with Riley Leonard doing what he does all the time? Or does he need to accept his role in the new role as quarterback of Notre Dame in the Mike Denbrock offense?
The role that he's asked to make this offense greater than what we've been, I don't believe he has that type of passing skill set consistently enough to be a 3,500-yard passer or plus. I think because of the offense, he'll have greater numbers than Duke, but just from like jumping from what his greatest is 29 to 36 or 4,000. I mean, come on. 3,100 would be great for him, though. Do you look at Notre Dame offense with 3,100 passing yards and 11 wins, 12 wins? As an offense, as a recruit, you still trying to come to if you're a top receiver? Riley can have a great year because of the team he has around him. He's just not the weakest link now. That's all. He's just not the weakest link on the offense. But he does, in a sense, all he does is score. He's not a Chris Paul as a quarterback. He's a Carmelo Anthony. You know who else was a Carmelo Anthony? A Tyler Buckner. Tyler Buckner gets going when he has the ball in his hand, not when it's asked to be given to other people. He's not going to shine that way. Can Riley Leonard shine when we're saying, hey, taking off for 30 yards is great, but we need you to hit that 60-yard bomb at Chris Mitchell. That's why we got his ass here.
Facts.
Hey, I know you can run over about 3 or 4 guys to get to the end zone, but listen, Bo Collins one-on-one, we need to score this right now. We need to score. Can you do that? Yeah, we can take 8 plays and you can run over people and run around and make some cool behind, but we got Jaden Grayhouse that we need to make a first-round guy by the time he's ready to leave. Can you get a 1,000-yard receiver, Riley? That's the question.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Denbrock's expecting 2 of them because he just had 2 last year. Can we get 2,000-yard receivers? Can we get 1? Can we get a guy with 800 yards on a season? Notre Dame, hell, we was grateful for 19 receptions and under 500 yards from Jordan Faison. 19 receptions.
Fans for calling it a great season.
Not only a great season, we're like, where are we going to put him to start? How is he going to get on? So it's like, yeah, we're trying to get Jordan Faison, So the bar is really low, Riley. That's why you're giving the Kevin Jackson, Steve Kerr treatment, or Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr treatment. It's set up for you to reap all the bit. Think about it. The running joke is Charlie Jones. All you got to do is just do better than that. And we're talking about one guy beating the whole room. That's the running joke in the receiver. When we walk past them boys, we say Charlie Jones, and they all like, oh, because they know. So if that's the standard, Riley Leonard, you sneeze the right way, they're going to look at you like, oh, that's all we needed. It's Riley Leonard. But it was always there. You know what I mean? It was always it was always there. It's just the guy that couldn't pull the sword out the rock. But the sword was always there. He just came and pulled it out. Guys that done wiggled it, done bumped it, everything. If Riley go in there and take a loosened sword already out, they gonna think he the man. That's why Notre Dame quarterback right now is at a powder keg. If you just half decent and J.J. McCarthy your way through, you will reap benefits that have been stocked up for years, decades.
Man.
They will open up that treasure box for you. You'd be like, oh, this was in here the whole time. Yes. Yes, all of this was in here the whole time. Nobody knew. It was like Tomb Raider. Everybody want to go look for the gold. Only one person knew where the gold was. And that's winning at Notre Dame as the quarterback position. That's the real pot of gold. And Riley Leonard will walk his way right to it because it's already set up. That's why it's like Riley don't got to be the best quarterback in the nation. He just got to be decent. Sam Hartman had to be 3 games good his whole career to be solidified in everybody's memory in college football for the rest of life. Came down to 3 games. 3 games. And he was 1 for 3. But I guarantee you this, I'll put it on anything. If Sam Hartman won them 3 games, they would talk about him.
Oh, dude.
You think Wake Forest was confused?
With the new sports building going up, he would definitely have a statue or something. Room, a quarterback room named after him or something. Oh, man. You would have thought, man, what?
Sam Hartman would have been, man, he would have been the new 10. He would have been the 10 that the babies all take pictures and jerseys of growing up. For just 3 games. That's where Notre Dame is at their as a program. 3 games can change your life for real. games could have made Sam a first rounder potentially.
He's up there with Jaden Daniels in Washington, right?
Yep.
Trying to get his Kirk Cousins on with a #1 pick.
You know how Washington get down. they have a revisionist history, but you know,
I don't know. They're owned by the best Laker in Laker history.
well, he did get LeBron's.
Unfortunately, that's the wrong name, but you know, nice try though.
Good championship.
They're owned by Magic Johnson, by the way.
Toughest championship ever, bubble championship.
Come on, man. Just like he's the Olympic MVP. When I saw that, I bust up laughing. We're doing Olympic MVPs now? That's what we're doing. The Olympic MVP.
Why not?
Come on, left. Stop.
Why not?
On, bro, stop. Left, stop.
We got in-season tournament banners.
That's worse. That's even worse. That's even worse. Popping champagne for the in-season tournament. Going home in the first round of the real playoffs. Come on, Left. Come on, Left. Oh, Lucky Lefty podcast. Hey, you know what was even crazier about Riley begging Gino to go live? The fact that Notre Dame, when they did have that night scrimmage in the stadium, Notre Dame posted him running the ball in for the touchdown. And before the press conference, you look like, oh, man, he juked the linebacker out. Okay, he looks healthy. And then you hear Gino say, yo, we're not letting him go live. It's like, well, dude, what did you really do? Because no one was really about to hit you. Once you pulled the ball.
Think about this. Think about how crazy this man sound. You done had a double, triple recovery, repair surgery. You was out 9 months. Your first week back, your crazy self talking about, let me go in there and get live. Sound like a crash dummy to me. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? 9 months out, your first weekend, you're talking about, let me put myself at risk right now. That don't make no sense to me. Are you that afraid to throw the football? Because any logical man is like, okay, let me get to the season. Let me do what I need to do to get there. You talking about live the first week? It sounds like you don't care about your health. It sounds like when you run the football, you looking at Mike Allslot, Tyler Bucker Jr. run super hard for 4 yards. We don't need that. Riley, we don't need that. It would have been nice if Gino Guidugli was like, man, this man Riley was like, let me take the extra 7-on-7 reps. That's the language I need to speak, because that sound like Braden Lindsey last year. Man, the way Tyler Buckner runs out there, boy, I tell you what. The way he juked the linebacker, that brother is special. But he was on mute.
That cat, Braden Lindsey said, yo, the way he runs the ball.
The way he run that ball at quarterback, I'm blocking them, looking back like, man, that brother is nice. So, yeah, the language, because you got to look at the devils in the detail. The brother said, let me go live after 9 months. And Gino said, I'm not listening to none of that. Yeah, it was funny, but he was serious. What are you talking about?
I'm not taking that to Coach Freeman. Are you crazy?
But he would take to Coach Freeman. Hey, Riley wants to get some extra reps throwing the ball because he's in tune with what needs to happen around here to change the Riley Leonard. I don't know if you know that, but we've won many games with your style of play. Many games. Many. Now, I don't know if you think that the way you play is the key to success, but we've been there, done that. Come on.
Yeah.
So that language already turned me off.
Turned
me off. Because he said, I like what he said about CJ. He doesn't lack no confidence. He ain't talking about running because he ain't lying. He ain't talking about running because he ain't talking about live.
He pulling that peel, boy.
He said he ain't afraid to throw it down the field. That's what I want to hear when you're saying, oh, we got all these receivers. We trying to throw outside the numbers. And then he talk about CJ. I got to tell him to chill. I got to tell him to hey, don't be squeezing it in the windows. Kenny Minchey, oh, yeah, he getting better with them decisions. He putting it where it needs to be. Steve is just consistent. He ain't talking about running. He ain't talking about running with none of the other quarterbacks. He ain't talking about running not one time. He said Steve is consistent. And if Steve ain't the best athlete, we already talked about he coming in fourth in the Olympics, quarterback Olympics. He's fourth. So what is he consistent at?
By the way, if you missed our quarterback Olympic podcast, you can go over to Apple Podcasts and Spotify right now. Post it up there. It's about 28 minutes of nothing but fun and laughter.
And Steve is fourth. So what is he consistent at? Oh, running the offense. Running the offense. He's consistent at running the offense.
Yo, super chat from Andrew Gilmore. We appreciate you, Andrew. He says, I really appreciate LeBron's unselfish play in pairs. But do you guys agree that Curry should have been MVP? He put Serbia and France to sleep. I'll let Left answer that one. I don't know if he's going to be honest or not, but
everybody cares about when it goes in. They don't care about the work that's put in to get to the basket. The work it takes to get to the basket is all the difference. Because you got to ask yourself, how was Curry so open? How was the best shooter in the world that open? Because the best player in the world is on the court.
Jokic played in the bronze game, didn't he? I thought Jokic played earlier in the day in the bronze game. You said the best player in the world. That's what you said, right? Did you say best player in the world?
Literally the world, because this was the Olympics.
Yes. So, like I said, Jokic played in the bronze medal game earlier. Triple-double.
What color was his medal?
I just said they won bronze. Like LeBron did back in 2000. You remember? LeBron has one of those as well. He has one of those bronze medals as well. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't skip over that. LeBron has a bronze medal from the Olympics. You saw
what that one Olympian said about the bronze medal. He said that thing about deteriorated before he got home.
Yeah, bronze is probably the same way from Rio. Yes, I agree.
It's been gone because that was way long ago.
I'm just saying.
Jokic is still in his pocket.
Hey, man, Marvin Bell, hey, he's part of Clutch Sports. We already
I'm just saying.
I don't know what his title is officially at Clutch, but he is definitely on the staff, Marvin Bell.
I'm just you saw what Curry said. It was always his dream to play with LeBron. Bringing home that goal. Who you think put the team together? Let's talk about that. Who you think put Drew Holiday on that team? LeBron James. Because that's his boy.
All I know is when they need to close both games out, they didn't get the ball to him. I know that much. Against Serbia, they was like, KD, go ahead. ISO. Close that dude out. I'm going to be honest with you, Left, before we play this last Gino clip. You can say what you want to say. My wife was in here with me Saturday, bro. She was in here with me Saturday. She walked in from shopping. You know, it's the work. Wives, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure some of you guys at America attest to this. Our wives have some of the worst timing. They will come in wanting to talk during the most important sports events at the most important times, trying to hold conversations, and you try to be nice. You try not to respond incorrectly or in an attitude. But she sat down, she nestled in, she enjoyed the last 5 minutes with me. Let me tell you something, Left. I was on my feet, bro. I was in my TV room on my feet talking, man. I was stirring the pot. Like, cook, chef, cook, cook. He hit that third one. I was like, oh my Lord. And then when he let the fourth one go, I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no
Oh,
way.
he cooks.
Literally, left. I jumped over my couch. My wife was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Yo, I cannot believe he just hit this shot." Because he threw it up. I'm like, okay, it's shot clock running down. All right, cool. And that bad fella said, "Oh, you gotta be kidding."
His momentum is crazy on his shooting.
Man. And I'm not here to debate like everybody's trying to debate where does this stand in like sports history. I just enjoy the moment. I've never been in a moment where I was cheering Steph Curry on like that.
Like he was really like you had to cheer for that.
But at that point, he had drawn me in. At that point, left. It was like,
Okay.
oh, I'm all in. But Chef, I'm stirring the pot. You know, I'm doing this.
So he was in there really like on some.
Oh, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. If you didn't enjoy that moment, bro, and then I went back and watched the last 5 minutes like 3 times. I just watched the last 5 minutes like 3 times. 3 times. And then Carmelo on the sideline, Carmelo was the best. Carmelo was the best, right? Because they have the last possession against Serbia. This dude Carmelo calls the play. He's like telling KD to come get the ball. Come get the ball. ISO, everybody move. Move. And KD drops old boy off 20. And then the next time, he's just like telling Steph to go put him to sleep. Just go kill him. Oh, by the way, his son has to be about legit 6'7". Did you see his son standing next to Melo? Tyen's legit 6'7". Legit. He's legit probably going to be better than both Bryce and Bron. Legit.
Yeah.
More than likely. Let's close this out with the last piece of Gino, where he's talking about the snaps and getting Riley Leonard acclimated and how difficult it has been to get him enough snaps to get him ready for the season.
Coach, how do you get each guy enough reps when obviously you got to get Riley up to speed? How difficult is that, and how do you do it?
Yeah, it's not easy. There's not enough reps going around. Fortunately for the offense and myself, Coach Freeman's done a lot this fall camp with 2-spot, which is something new that we've done. I don't know if you guys noticed in practice at certain portions of the team periods, we split and go one set of offense on one field, the other on the other, which allows each quarterback to get more team reps, which I think at the end of the day is the only way you can develop and get better at quarterback.
Lefty said this during the spring when everybody was like, "Oh, he'll be fine. He'll be fine." You were like, "No, bro."
Because guess what? All that running around and explosive stuff with your legs, that runs out. That lasts about 2-3 days at camp. Now dude's locked in on you now. Now you got communication issues. Now you can't get the snap. Now it ain't enough reps. I told you wasn't going to be enough reps. Unless they was committed to Riley Leonard and said he's our freaking guy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to commit to him by giving him 90% of the rep because we're being logical and are like, if he's the guy we're paying $2 million to start, we're going to make sure he's prepared. I don't give a darn what anybody says. If you're giving a guy a fourth of the reps, because it sounds like CJ getting 1 or 2 in there, there's no way you're going to be up to speed on anything. And that talent will last very, very short. Because week 4 will be here. In Ohio and Miami, Ohio will look tough to him. Because he's got to operate everything else. Before he starts thinking about defense, he got to take the snap.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You know how hard it is when you're like not comfortable taking a snap, and then you got to be like, okay, but now I got to play quarterback. As soon as you're like really focusing on catching the thing or whatever, and you look up, now you're like, what's the play? Like it's stupid stuff like that, but it's real. You're so afraid of fumbling the snap that you forget what the play is sometimes. That's where the running around come in. You freestyling. That's the first thing he says. Oh, he can run around. It's not good signs. It's not good signs.
I just think anything in life, it takes reps.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How many hours is it? 10,000 hours in order to master something?
J.J. McCarthy has started every game. So, yeah, his talent may not have been there, but damn it, he
mastered handing off like anybody, like I've never seen.
never seen. Know how to win.
Hand off left, hand off right, play action, wide open receiver.
But that can be hard when you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That can be hard when you can't remember what this guy's doing because you only practice.
He did more than that. I was just joking, but yeah, you're right. You're
Well,
right.
you only practice the play 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we know you talented, but you ain't that talented now, guy. You know.
Yeah.
You can't go up there like Patrick Mahomes and be like, I didn't know defense until after I won my Super Bowl.
And Garland Doxy, look, did I call Bryce a Bronny trash? Did I say that? Bryce is ranked 100. Cayenne is top 50. Bryce is not even the best player on his AAU squad. Cayenne is. He put up 30 in the AAU circuit this offseason. Come on, man. Stop. And I'm stating facts. I'm just saying the kid is legit 6'7". I'm still a little fishy on the young man saying Paul George is his GOAT. That I understand he might not want to say his dad, but yeah, that's
a stretch.
Andrew Gilmore had a GTB question. Do you think it's a waste of time? Left, you could take this one. For a Carr to be running with the 4th team, all signs indicate he's supposed to be the guy next year. Should he be taking some second team reps?
I mean, you have no reason to really burn out on CJ Carr right now, because for what? I mean, unless you think he's I don't know. I just think we've recruited well enough to where it's a luxury to have CJ sit for a year. I think the NFL has caught a trend with that where they'll take a first-round talent and sit them 2 years. That way they can save the franchise. You know, so I think I would like a year 2 CJ Carr over a year 1 just because he's talented, learning on the fly. You don't need to burn the kid out that crazy. Hell, they're not even doing it with Arch Manning, and I know they want to. Yeah. I know they want to. Ain't no way you get an 87 overall. You ain't played 1 snap. Ain't no way. So I know they want to play Arch Manning real bad, but even Texas is like, let's not. Probably Peyton told him, hey, I know y'all want to do that.
Yeah.
Let him rest a year. Tell Quinn to come back, you know, and then we're going to do it the right way.
You're going to do it the right way. Yeah, I think once again.
We saw what you did at the draft.
Like our show on Thursday, we talked about it, man. Fans just, you know, with the access to young players and knowing kids since they were freshmen in high school and following their recruitment and early enrollment or whenever they come into campus, and all of a sudden the buzz is so much that people want to see them. And just championship flow is not like that, man. It's very rare that 5-star kids come in. Somebody, and I'm going to get to this because I saw my guy Indy Milton fan in the chat. I'm glad. Hopefully he's still watching because I'm going to get to this. It's a very interesting thread that was over on the IB message board that I'm going to get to clarify some things. Because people, you know, take things out of context and take it to the board, and then it really turned into something over there. I was just laughing, but we'll get to that shortly. But I think Gino summed things up. I think what we heard from Gino Guidugli is that there's a lot of promise with the youngsters. So to answer Andrew's question, no, there's no urgency. He has to earn it. The practice that I was at, or the 2 practices that I was at, Kenny Minchey was just as good, if not better, and was working with the 3rd group. It's a great article over at the Irish Breakdown right now that's talking about, hey, does Steve Angeli deserve that 2nd spot? What's the real option going into the season? And Kenny Minchey overtake him and be the backup? Do you even want CJ Carr to be put in that position? The schedule is favorable. Could you ease CJ into that second row with a favorable schedule, knowing that the second guy is probably going to get a lot of run and a lot of reps? But ultimately, man, you have to earn it. So no, he doesn't deserve to be running with the second team. No, not if he's not clearly outplaying everybody else. No. CJ Carr is not. This is what I'm talking about, Left. It's not too many Trevor Lawrences that show up, bro, that send Kelly Bryant packing. Ain't too many that go on to win a national championship. It just doesn't happen like that. It just doesn't. It doesn't happen like that. There's a natural progression, and specifically at the quarterback position, that all of us should want a kid like CJ Carr to take. He is fearless. He has arm talent. But like you said, Left, no, stop fitting that. You don't have to fit that. Stop trying to fit it in. We know you believe in your arm talent, but you don't even have to do all that. It's not even necessary. Not even necessary. Do you really want him learning that while you're trying to make a playoff run?
Yeah, you'll kill the kid's confidence.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do now is mess with his confidence. Let him build confidence, man, and go in like all this, man. Next year, it's a wide open race.
Wide open race.
May the best man win.
Cool.
Regardless of how many reps he gets right now, next year is a wide open race. Wide open. So when we come back, Left, let's hear from the quarterbacks themselves. Let's hear from the quarterbacks and hear what they have to say, not only about the quarterback room, but the wide receivers, and then also what they have to say about what's coming up next with this wide receiver room and this offense. Lucky Lefty Podcast. You already know we spin it different.
What's up, family? The merch shop is finally here. Lucky Lefty Network merch shop. We got it all. From the shirts to the hoodies to the hats to the nitty gritties. Come here right now. Shop with us. Come get the swag, because you know, if anything else, we spin it different. You see the gritty. You see how we get down. It's elite.
And if I am a reflection of him, then I must be fly. Because if you like, I could shine so bright, I wouldn't lie.
NFL season.
I remember the very first day that I saw him.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. Sean Davis, Malik Zaire, back at it. Shout out to our boy. He's back in his bag. Jay Illa, official DJ for your Chicago Bears. Facilitating and supplying us with the intro music all the time. We appreciate you, my boy. We heard from Gino Guidugli early in the show talking about the offense, the offense, the quarterbacks, the quarterback room. Riley Leonard begging to go live in fall camp, gave our thoughts on that. LL, fill in the blank of the day. Notre Dame is getting close to. Fill in the blank, ladies and gentlemen, and let us know what you think. Lucky Lefty Podcast, committed to forever, spinning it different. So we're going to get to what I call one of the most impressive quarterback rooms. Your boy, Kenny Minchey, is a man of little words, Left. I was like, yo, this cat, Kenny Minchey, doesn't have too much to say. He doesn't have too much to say. But what I will say, Left. Oh, there's my co-host. I was wondering where he was. The third co-host. What's up, little Left? Is he a lefty? I forgot to ask you. Is he
He's not a lefty. How unfortunate.
Oh, little Left. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Don't forget Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation, patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. And don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. Subscribe, hit the like button. And then, man, leave your messages. We respond to all your comments. We respond to all. We greatly appreciate you. Lucky Lefty Podcast. You already know we spin it different. Left, can I interest you in another entry into the petty train? I'm not introduced to you. I don't even know if you heard the story. 68-year-old Vera Liddell from Chicago. Vera Liddell from Chicago. She is an Illinois school district teacher, and she's been sentenced to 9 years in prison. This is crazy, bro. 9 years in prison for stealing $1.5 million worth of chicken wings. I'm gonna say that again. They gave her 9 years in prison, my bro, for stealing $1.5 million in chicken wings. True story, man. She worked for the school. She worked for the cafeteria. She was a cook. And during the pandemic, she placed orders totaling up to $1.5 million from 2020 to 2022 in chicken wings. 1,000 cases of wings, bro. 1,000 cases. Hopefully she was hustling, bro. Hopefully she was hustling. You know what I mean?
That'd be a wholesale thing.
Yeah, 1.5. Dude, you had to flip that. You had to flip that. Oh, at least I hope she at least made half of that in wholesale.
That's insane.
Garland Doxy said, that's funny. He said that was going to Harold's. You're probably right. She probably was wholesaling the Harold's.
Yeah, people was getting chicken for the law at that time, probably.
Hell, man, you know chicken is hot now, bro.
Yeah.
You go to Walmart, a pack of wings is hitting you for about $12, $13.
12, 13?
$12, $13, bro.
They try to turn us all vegan.
Man, for real. $12, $13. Don't talk about the chicken breast. Man. It's ridiculous, man. But yeah, 9 years, bro. That's a little bit excessive. That's kind of excessive. I know it's make her pay restitution. As that cat Shannon Sharp would say, I want my restitution. Make her pay some restitution. And you sending somebody to prison for 9 years for stealing chicken wings, man?
I mean, what lesson are you trying to teach? Because, you know, usually they say try to make an example. You make an example out of what? Chicken thieves?
I don't know, bro. That's crazy, man.
That's worse than what you get for prohibition.
Now, this lets you know that she wasn't too smart. She wasn't too smart. Because I would have ordered it and instantly retired. She kept working. She works for the school. So if you work for the school districts don't feed kids bone-in chicken wings.
No, they don't.
They get chicken nuggets. You didn't think anybody would see, wait a minute. Bone-in chicken. 1.5 million. Like, where they frying these up at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part. That she actually thought this was a scheme that she would get away with. I think she was so successful with it, bro. And she was probably moving them so fast and hustling them so fast, and the money was so good that she ran through the stop sign.
Yeah.
It was probably a time where it was like, yo, I made me a good 50,000. I'm good. I've done 100,000. I made 50,000. I'm good. Let me take this 50, turn it into some real estate or some other investments, and I'm good. Still collect my check. 1.5 million, bro. 1.5 million.
Working. You working.
All this talk, I might have to go get me a 6-piece white hot sauce, mild sauce, salt, pepper, lemon pepper when I leave here.
Hey,
right after
listen,
the
you
show.
already know the go-to order.
Hey, man,
You already know
I
the
might have to
go-to.
do it. Lucky Lefty podcast. Let's hear from the quarterbacks, Left. Riley Leonard, man of the hour for Notre Dame fans. What is he going to bring? He talked about adjusting, Left. Adjusting to the system in the Mike Denbrock offense.
The adjustment to this new offense with Denbrock, it's similar to what I've done in the past. The quarterback has a lot of control and is able to extend plays in so many different ways. I think we're able to spread the ball out. We got weapons now, like all over the place, even at running back, tight end, obviously, receivers. I think adjusting it wasn't too hard for me.
Boy, you could tell that boy ain't never had weapons in his life. Boy, coming from Duke, he's like, yo, even at running back, we got weapons. I'm gonna have to run that back, Left. Oh my God, the amazement in his voice, Left. Like, oh my God, this is Christmas. I'm opening up packages all over the place. They got gifts. My grandmother's bringing me gifts. My godparents are bringing me gifts. Man, it's a lot going on in Notre Dame. Listen to Riley Leonard. Boy, you can tell he's super excited with the skill positions and the talent he has around him in comparison to what he had at Duke.
The adjustment to this new offense with Denbrock, it's similar to what I've done in the past. The quarterback has a lot of control and is able to extend plays in so many different ways. I think we're able to spread the ball out. We got weapons now, like all over the place, even at running back, tight end, obviously, receivers. I think adjusting it wasn't too hard for me. Being a fourth-year guy who's been in a similar system my whole career it's been good. It's been
He said he's been in the whole system, similar system his whole life. But you've been using your legs the majority of the time, Riley. I think honestly that's the biggest question. That's the biggest question. Like, we know, I'm not about to sit up here and be comparative. That's not what I'm doing. Like, he has impressive legs, pause, to extend plays like he talked about, similar to what Jaden Daniels did in Mike Denbrock's offense. Does he have the touch and the accuracy in the deep ball that Jaden Daniels showed off last year? That's going to be key. You heard the offensive lineman from Notre Dame say last week, we're going to run the ball, but we're going to be explosive. That means there's a lot of play action, a lot of shots coming. That's what it means. There's some shots coming this year, along with the run game. Left. I'm pulling for the young man. I'm pulling, first of all, that he is 100% healthy and ready to go. I want his legs to be impactful in the offense, but I need his arm to be a little bit more impactful. You don't have to rub your head, Left. Go ahead, Left. I already know. Go ahead, man.
It's hard to do it when the guys around you aren't giving you the amount of reps that it takes to get there. It's just hard. So
you're saying it would be better off if Drew Pine was the backup. You know for sure Riley will be getting a lot more reps.
It's a commitment thing. If you went out and got this guy, then tell him, listen, I'm trying to win a championship now. I'm not thinking about the rest of the quarterbacks. So I'm going to give you as many reps as it takes to close the gap, because my research has done studies. It takes 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So to close the gap, I got to get you 90% of these reps, like they would in the NFL. And especially since you're missing half a semester.
Yeah.
So you take them all the reps in fall camp, and I guarantee you'll have a better start than you taking a third. And then, but because how do you even get comfortable as a play caller when he's taking a third of reps? The games are different. So it's going to be a learning process. Especially, they still haven't decided who's the starting quarterback.
Yes, they have.
They did publicly?
No, not publicly. Yeah, they have. They have. I know you don't like hearing that, dude, because I know you're pulling for your day ones. That, ladies and gentlemen, Left It's all about Notre Dame just having a day one program. Where they
I'm
go
just
out
saying
with
this.
two
I'm
guys.
just saying a lot of things are weird because, you know, hell, the guy they had go to from Texas to Duke, they named Malik Murphy the starter a long time ago.
Well, dude, once you comparing, come on, who's in the Duke quarterback? Who's left? Who's left in the Duke
What do you
quarterback?
mean? Riley Leonard's supposed to be a top 5 quarterback in the country.
No. Riley Leonard was gone. Riley Leonard was gone before Malik Murphy got there.
I'm saying for Malik Murphy to go and get named the starter day one.
Yes,
and for Riley
I
Leonard
agree.
and for Riley Leonard to be at the stature of being this top whatever quarterback going into the draft to a school that, I mean, what's that quarterback that is better than a top draft pick right now? And you still haven't announced? The Texas A&M not sitting back there wondering who they're going to throw out there. I guarantee you they not. So I don't know if it's a game plan thing. I mean, you got this man everywhere. You got him in New York. Hell, we knew Sam was a starter before all of this. They said
No,
it.
remember they told us, yeah, we knew once Tyler.
They said it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's the big holdout? I don't know the big holdout. It just doesn't make sense. I think the best job they've done with transfer quarterbacks is Jack Cohn by far. And that's because Jack Cohn was mature. He had a good balance to
from a production standpoint.
Absolutely. But they was honest about it.
You know something? I rewatched the 2021 North Carolina game at home, and that cat Jack Cohn, I think, had like a 25-yard touchdown run. And I just bust up laughing like this cat Jack Cohn, man. If Jack Cohn had one more year, Jack Cohn would have probably broke a lot of passing records at Notre Dame.
Jack Cohn be a bad dude.
Because he would have had, yeah, that would have been the second year of Joe Alt and Blake Fisher. Yeah.
Jack Cohn would have been that deal. Had Kyrie another year.
We're doing hypotheticals here. Yeah. If Jack Cohn has another year, they walk into Ohio Stadium and beat.
Jack Cohn. Because Jack Cohn will throw that ball down the field. Bro.
Yeah.
Jack Cohn will throw it down the field. He's gonna find a little mismatch.
Yeah.
Going on point.
Oh, by the way, I watched a little bit of the Raiders. They're gonna get scraped when they play the Chiefs. But they put that 12 personnel with Mayer and Brock Bowers. That's tough.
That was coming. Yeah,
that's tough. That's gonna be tough.
Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer look like Raider tight ends.
Both of them can inline. Both of them can inline and both of them can split out. So they can use so many different variations out of the 12 personnel. And then they have Brock Bowers playing halfback, bro. I mean fullback, not halfback. They had him in fullback.
Yeah, because he did it all. I mean, that brother was special.
Just moving around. They're doing some of the same things he did at Georgia, which is very smart. Lucky Lefty podcast. So Riley also talked about, now we're starting to get into not only the adjustments, but he talked about the room, the system, the quarterbacks being tight-knit. I'm interested in you hearing this, Lev, because you say you need tension in your quarterback room. You always said, I love tension in the quarterback room. This is Riley Leonard talking about the quarterback room and a little bit more.
We're a tight-knit group. If we're ever hanging out on the weekends, we're hanging out together. I think we're always having each other's back. We made a bunch of plays out there today, and we're the first ones in the end zone celebrating with each other. So I think, to be able to come in as a transfer, there's a lot of stigma and, a lot of tension there. But they brought me in with open arms, and hopefully I've been able to accept them. I know I've been able to accept them on my end, so it's been a good time.
And as far as your game, what is the one area that you've been working on in camp?
Yeah, one area I've been working on in camp is just settling my feet in the pocket, going through my full progressions, and really understanding defenses, understanding coverages pre-snap. Our defense gives me great looks every single day to where I can, go through my reads, go through my protection calls, go through everything, and really be a veteran-type quarterback in this offense. And it's been really easy to do with Denbrock's system.
You confused, Left? He confused you?
He's 5 years in, talking about day one stuff. I don't understand. What are you talking about? I always thought it was pretty fake, the whole everybody gets along in the quarterback room, because it's not an environment that everybody's going to win and be successful at. I just think it's fake. I think it's important that y'all have good camaraderie and that y'all, have good leadership skills, but you got to go in there with the mindset of I have to outdo, because the quarterback position has to be pushed to the next level. You look at the perspective of LSU, they just had a Heisman quarterback. The next guy in has to be at a certain level. You just can't go down, you know what I mean? So if everybody's on the same team, that means there's too many guys being nice. I tell you, Steve Angeli ain't, better not be buddy-buddy. This ain't Sam Hartman. I carry your books to class and sit at lunch with you during the cafeteria. No, because that doesn't push the guys to be better. That's always just going to support this guy while he stinks up the joint. Because guess what? When he stinks up the joint, you got to get in, and you're not going to be prepared. You're not going to be prepared because you're okay with the guy ahead of you playing, and you treating it as if it's buddy. I just don't like that. I think the best production we got out of Notre Dame the last 10, 15 years is when Ev and Deshaun and Brandon was in there. Because we was like, shit, he has a good day, I have to have a better day, We just can't let nobody run away with this thing now, because we knew the team was at that right moment. That the right guy at that quarterback spot reaped so many benefits. It just, it's like the pot of gold was right. It was hot right there. It was right there, right on the money then. So it's just a matter of for me, I would love Riley to be more aggressive in his approach. He's saying like a veteran quarterback. Boy, you are a veteran quarterback. You got more years than everybody in the room combined. You have more years in your career than everybody in the room combined. The playing experience. So, yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like the best thing to do with Riley Leonard was to make him a package guy because of the timing that he didn't get to have during the spring to get reps. Send a more consistent guy out there, Steve Angeli, and work Riley Leonard in with packages. You're going to roll Riley Leonard out there with not a full scope of the offense against a Texas A&M team that's trying to find how to win. There's a huge difference in how Gino Guidugli described Steve Angeli from Riley Leonard. Huge difference. He said the man got a command of the whole offense. The man is consistent every day. Riley Leonard is explosive with his legs. What are we talking about? Now, can Riley Leonard do it? Sure. But can it be done at his greatest ability for a first-year transfer? I don't have to say anything. That's just going to show.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, him coming out looking amazing is amazing. Because I would be wondering, how can you do that? That's pulling off magic tricks. You go in there with 4 months, learning a whole new system, at a whole new level of competition, at a whole new environment, at a whole new challenge, and you play that much better than what you thought was good at the previous place after coming off of surgery? I don't know. I just know that doesn't, if I had a math equation, that doesn't add up the right way.
And you want that cat Riley Leonard to look like Quincy Hall. Quincy Hall coming around that curve in the 400, boy, he was struggling. Well, that dude looked like he was.
I'm saying
It didn't look like he was gonna make it to the finish line, and all of a sudden he found something. He just dug deep.
I'm like, look at how they talk about him. Would you feel better with Gino Guidugli saying what he did about CJ for Riley Leonard? Or would you feel better about what he said about Riley Leonard about his legs? If he said, man, Riley Leonard, man, he'd take them chances. He'd throw that thing down.
Well, he could have been answering that, talking about what makes Riley special.
I think Gino Guidugli
differentiates him from everybody else. Now, I don't think Gino had subconsciously everybody he just played against Riley Leonard. Everybody knows his legs are special.
No, but I'm saying
that's like batteries included. We know that.
But if you're going, Gino, in my opinion, Gino Guidugli was going to the first thing that stuck out in his mind. The first thing that stuck out in his mind about CJ was throwing that ball, taking them chances, pushing the ball down.
I think Gino was differentiating the guys. I think this is what makes all of them different. This is what differentiates. Not the fact that this is the only thing he can do.
No, he didn't say that's the only thing he could do. He said that was the best thing he could do. Because coach is going to talk about you in your highlights, right? The best things you can do.
Yeah.
CJ Carr can run, but he ain't going to say that's the first thing he can do. But the Notre Dame quarterback position, the first thing that needs to be said that needs to be done is he can throw that football. That's what I'm saying. Because we heard he can run around with his legs from a guy that's playing receiver now. I'm just saying. The guy that's playing receiver now.
Braden Lindsey put the whammy on Tyler Buckner, didn't he?
A quarterback's receiver told you that. I'm not saying it was the same language. I said it sounded highly similar. Highly similar.
And so either way, I think, like you said, we'll find out. You said it perfectly. We'll find out. Everything right now is just prediction,
speculation. We don't know.
Oh, I think he's talented enough. Like you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. Well, I haven't
seen it. The stats do not bear it out. If you want to go by people were like, okay, look at the Florida State game. I was like, dude, he threw for like 43% in that game. Well, the receivers, I'm like, dude, I understand what you're saying.
See, when you start copying excuses, okay.
You're starting to sound like Clutch Sport, making all these excuses.
What's an excuse for a gold medalist? Oh, okay.
MVP of the Olympics is definitely a narrative and an excuse. And dude, there's never been an MVP of the Olympics ever in the history of Olympicdom. I don't even know if that's not even a word. I just made it up. In the history of the Olympics, there has never been an Olympic MVP ever. All of a sudden, as this dude is going out the door, Clutch Sports has negotiated with the IOC to create a men's basketball MVP for the Olympics. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. What are we talking about? It's ridiculous. Lucky Lefty podcast. So Riley Leonard, man, is really in a position where, like you said, we're going to see it. We're going to see it firsthand. And when we see it firsthand, he's going to be matching up against the man that he played for, the man he had a great relationship with, the man that recruited him. That's now the head coach of the Texas A&M Aggies, and that's Mike Elko. Riley Leonard talked about, this is not just a game for me. He was flat out honest, Levy. He said, this isn't just a game. This one is special for me going up against my former head coach at Texas A&M.
It's the best feeling in the world, like just be able to be myself again. I know my right ankle now is stronger than it's ever been in my life. It's more mobile than the left now because I was working on it so much. So definitely feeling better than I've ever felt before. And it's so good to be able to trust my legs and really play my game.
The opportunity to face your old coach in the first week, what's that like for you? And knowing that he's going to be on the other side?
Yeah, I'll start off with saying, like, I know it's the political answer, but it's the genuine answer. I don't want to make it about me versus him. Obviously, you know, it's gonna be that way. But I'd rather it be, you know, Notre Dame versus A&M. But to be able to play against him, you know, it's awesome. And it's not just him. It's a lot of the coaching staff from Duke, and it's a lot of the people that I'm really close with, and we're all extremely competitive. So obviously this game means a lot to me. People say, you know, every game's the same. You know, this means a lot to me. But yeah, I don't want to make it about me versus Alco at all.
Left, why are you rubbing? What is it, Left?
I don't know, man. I just think that it just sounds like he's just like, wow, I'm just so happy to just be here. And it's like this is not that the moment is too big for him. I don't want to say that. But he's just too giddy for me. You know, he doesn't come across.
I'm talking about the young man's demeanor and personality now, Left.
See, I know that's stretching it. That's stretching it. See, that's stretching it. But you know, I like Sam Hartman's demeanor. I like Jack Cohn's demeanor. Guys, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna come in, we'll figure this out. But
okay, I have to see where you're going. I'm in the back seat. I just jumped in this Uber. I want to see where you're taking this, bro. Because
it's just like I guess I like my guys a little bit of edge to them, you know. These guys are just kind of like he's just way too like okay, it's like okay. First day of school, you lay your clothes out. Okay. Super excited.
Okay. Facts.
But you're in the
but you don't wear your best outfit first day. Everybody knows that.
But that's Riley. Riley's wearing his best to impress.
He's that.
And he's just like, oh, you just vibe, man. You know, act like you've been here before. I think that's what it is. He doesn't come across as a guy that's been at this level before. It's just like, oh man, shucks, man. I'm just wow. Everything is wow. Everything is. I'm just super excited. I'm just can't believe it. Oh, this is only Jesus. This is just. And I think it just doesn't come across as a guy that's like, I made this move intentionally. I'm here to step up to the plate. It just seems like he's just like, wow, everything's happening perfect. It's just, I'm like, act like you've been here before, you know. But then again, he hasn't. So
come on, bro.
That's being picky.
High school,
but it's an unseriousness about it. It's just I'm not saying that the brother can't play.
If in high school your parents made you drive a hand-me-down, like your brother or sister's hand-me-down, their first car, right? And it was beat up. And they made you drive that all the way through high school. And then you graduate. And then you come out from the graduation and it's a 2-seat convertible Benz in the parking lot. And they're like, man, congratulations, this is yours. I don't care who you are. In that moment, you're going to be like, wow. You're going to get a little corny in that moment, bro. You might shed a tear. It might break you down, dude, because the magnitude of the moment is the magnitude of the moment. And I think walking out that tunnel at Texas A&M with that gold helmet, it's going to be something for Riley Leonard. I absolutely think it's going to be a moment. I try to tell people all the time, that's a heavy crown to wear as the quarterback of Notre Dame, bro. That's not like every other. That's not being the quarterback of Illinois. That's not being the quarterback in Michigan.
And I'm not saying he's got to be, you know, the most hardcore dude. It just seems like it's like
you want this dude to be DMX or something?
No, I just want that.
You want to walk into the huddle? Where my dogs? Where my dogs? Where my dogs at? I mean, what
just like okay, if we were down at Texas A&M by like 12, I feel like he would be the type to try to quote Bible scriptures to me or something like Jesus said in Philippians 3, John 13, no weapon formed against me shall. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to hear that. Complete the ball on third and nine. Complete the ball on third and nine. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I got to put you on the
wrong with using the good Lord to motivate you in the game. But sometimes, man, I just want a guy with a little edge. Be a little pissed off. Be pissed off for greatness. Everything's just a little too giddy. Just oh wow, like I would have never could have imagined it. And, oh, I just want to go live right now. That just doesn't sound like you locked in.
Because he still can't believe. Yo, I was
That's exactly.
I was at Duke surrounded by nothing but midness. That's it.
I just hope he can use that to channel that wildness into focus, because it doesn't seem focused. He's just all over the place. Oh man, it's just great. It's just da-da-da, and I'm over here, and then
everything about Notre Dame for him is great. The fit,
that's
personality, great. The fit
personality, great.
With his beliefs and who Notre Dame is, perfect. The system,
he should be one of those tour guides.
Check everything. He's amazed. Who, me? Because to be honest, I really am not as accomplished as Sam Hartman was. Let's keep it a buck. Sam Hartman's check came from the fact that Sam Hartman had
put in that work.
Some things. He had put in some work. Riley Leonard hasn't really put in that work yet, but still got the same love. So for him, he probably does feel fortunate. He feels very fortunate to be in this position, bro, with a team that comes in ranked 7th in the first AP poll. You darn right. You darn right. He's never even sniffed the top 10. He wasn't sniffing the top 10 at Duke. Ever. This dude's starting the season off in the 7th slot. Are you kidding me? You darn right. He's good gosh. Oh, golly gee. Look at the clouds. Yes. He has a little Leave It to Beaver in him right now. Yes. He has a little Opie, Ron Howard in him right now. Yes. And that's okay. That's okay, because it's real to him. It's real to him. Now, when he walks through that tunnel, I don't know who his variant is. Whoever that variant is needs to come out when he walks through that tunnel at Texas A&M. Or his alter ego, whoever that is. That alter ego needs to show up.
Because football is about guys that are a little bit off. And he's not a little bit off. He's a wholesome guy. And that's fine. But the great players, something's wrong with him. I ain't saying he got to be a killer or he got to come off as hardcore.
Great players, something. So you admit there's something wrong with Bron?
I'm talking about football players.
Oh, okay. Well, all of y'all are special breed. I do. All of y'all special.
Some got to be a little wrong with you, you know.
Yes, to play the game, I agree.
A couple times, you know.
I agree.
In school suspension or a fight here and there, you know. So I'm not saying that he's not good. I'm just saying that his demeanor doesn't give me the edge that I'm like, oh, I got to get behind this dude. Now, if I was at Bible camp, retreat, Kairos, and he was my spiritual guidance leader, it's a perfect fit. I feel like he can take me right where I want to go.
Yeah.
Hell, the RJ kid told you he gonna bring Jesus to you. Very commendable.
Yeah.
I want to see that dog come out though.
I feel you. All right. You don't want him to be Joe Kane at Texas A&M. You know, Joe Kane went up in that matchup against Michigan in the program through that late interception to lose the game.
Because then that's my thing. Because that's why I was like, I need a little edge. Because all that sounds good.
But Joe Kane had the edge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what if you lose the game? You're going to go up there talking about, gee, golly whiz, oh, man, this is amazing. Oh, blah, blah, blah. What happens if you don't play well? Because, see, that's when the real got to come out. Oh, gosh, man, just all the guys accepting me. Oh, man, it's great. It's just, Jesus. Oh, man, this is amazing. I'm just love being here. Oh, I'm great, feeling good. Can't go live. What if you go 12 for 24? Are you going to be the same? That's the question. It's all good when it's good.
That cat Jeremiah Love does remind me of Darnell Jefferson, though. Shout out to Omar Epps. Shout out to Omar Epps. I don't know if it's a Halle Berry on campus, but Hey man, the program, that's still one of the best sports movies of all time. Lucky Lefty podcast. Facts. So let's hear from some of the other quarterbacks. And Left is going to enjoy this. Watch how Left spins this one, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Angeli, what did you do in the offseason? How'd you work out?
Feeling about the offense. Had a full season of spring ball under my belt. Now going into camp, having all the receivers get here, everyone get up to speed. I feel really good about where I'm at.
And then you went to California to train in May. I guess what did you want to get out of that trip, and was there like a singular focus at all?
I think just getting around a new group of people. 3D QB definitely helped me a lot. Being able to go out there and just learn some new things and work on some stuff and just get around a new set of eyes. You're always able to improve. So I want to get out for a new pair of eyes and see what I can work on.
This guy has been through some things. First year, Steve Angeli, he was smiling. Oh man, just coming out of high school, I'm glad to be here. Now look at it.
Wide-eyed. He was wide-eyed.
He was wide-eyed, bushy tail.
Yeah.
See, that's the type of guy you want at quarterback.
Now that's the type of guy.
He can't give a darn what happens. He like, look, listen, I know what this is about. He understands the magnitude of what's going on. He's not in there talking about, G. Willikers, I'm just kicking my feet up, having a great time. I love the guys. We're having a good time. He is like, listen, I went out there to train, work on some things, learn a couple things, and do my job. Period. I ain't smiling with you. I'm here to win. Now, I don't know if that's all he's thinking and saying, but that's what I'm getting from the way his demeanor is at this point. Plus, at this point, it's just like, Angeli's like, man, I just want an opportunity to show something. And I know the feeling. So it'll be good for him to see if he gets that chance.
So you heard what Riley Leonard said about the quarterback room. Listen to what Steve Angeli had to say about the quarterback room.
I'm not a quitter. I like to do stuff the hard way. There's definitely easier routes, but being a guy that made a decision to come here in the first part, I'm going to give it all I got to stay here and make it work.
Steve, as far as the mental approach, how have you grown, and what is the mental approach in camp?
Yeah, having Coach Denbrock come here, Coach Gino, Coach Brown, a couple new guys that have been in the building, just getting around new people and learning new things. I feel like every year that I'm here, every kind of season from spring ball to fall camps, and the season I'm just learning new stuff about the game. So there's always a term of constant improvement that I think I'm in, and just constant learning. I try and be a sponge when I'm in the building, just talking to Coach Rudolph, Coach Goulden, Coach Mickens, even the defensive guys, just trying to learn new things.
And what's it like being in the quarterback room this year?
It's been great. We have a great group of guys. I'm excited for the season.
Yeah, that's how he's supposed to
talk. You can tell he has the edge.
Listen.
He has the edge. He's like, man, I'm not getting into all
He said, I'm tired of learning. That's why he kept saying it. He said, I've been asked questions. I've been learning. Every time I come a new year, y'all keep throwing this bull at me, and I'm still learning through it. What did he say? He said, I'm just making it work. He ain't talked nothing about I love the guy. He said, I'm making it work. Damn it, I've been here every year. Y'all throw these random wrenches in my game plan. I'm tired of it. He said, it's a great group. Move on. I'm trying to win this spot. I ain't trying to. What about you? What about the room? What about it?
See, I'm not a quitter.
You don't give a darn about who's in the room.
I'm not a quitter. That easy route.
He said, I'm not a quitter. I'm learning something every year. He said, I'm learning so much. I'm sick of learning. I'm trying to go activate, apply the knowledge. I'm trying to apply the knowledge. I done asked defense 50 million questions. I done asked coaches. He enlisted the coaches. He said, I asked
every coach, every single. He named Mickens. He named Biaggi. The analyst they just hired.
I done asked everybody in this building. I done talked to the O-line coach, Coach Rudolph.
I'm gaining delegates, boy. I'm gaining delegates. It's an election coming up, and I need all the delegates. I need everybody on my side. I need all the endorsements I can get. I need the swing states.
He said, how many coaches I got to name? Give me the chance. He said, I done talked to everybody. He said, I don't know about the rest of these quarterbacks. I done talked to everybody we need to talk to.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5.
He said, every year, new faces come in. I'm talking to them. because I'm trying to figure out how I'm not getting on this field. I didn't talk to everybody. Marcus Freeman keep talking to me, throwing these wrenches in my face. I'm tired of talking and learning. I'm trying to use and apply the knowledge. So, Steve looks like a guy that's been through a lot. Shit, he looks like he is not new to anything out here. Man, I told you. Nothing out here surprises me.
Steve Angeli talking about the wide receiver core. Enjoy it, ladies and gentlemen.
What did he say? He said he kept it short and sweet.
There's guys in that room that can just straight out fly. I think, every time that we're out there and, you see Chris Mitchell, Jordan Faison. I mean, Matt Jeffries, the new walk-on guy that's here, he can absolutely fly too. So it's really cool to see guys like that, Jaden Harrison, Bo Collins, the new guys that are here. And then obviously we've had some guys in the room that have speed as well.
He knows everybody on the team's name.
Oh, yeah.
He knows the assistants. He knows everyone's secretary. He's that dude.
He's
walking
all
through the
guys.
Google, saying hello to everybody, bringing them Dunkin' Donuts. Steve is that guy.
But you saw, he named all the guys that he looks to help him. He ain't named not one quarterback. He said, we have a great group. That's it.
He was talking about the wide receivers. He was asked about the wide receivers.
They asked him about the quarterback room. He said, it's a great group. Next question. Yeah, Pete. When he said the receiver, he said Bo Collins. He was naming names. He said the quarterback, it's a great group. What else? Yeah, you got to listen. You got to listen. The man don't want no quarterback room questions. He said it's a great group. He said the receiver, he had a smile, cracked a smile when he talked about the receiver. Oh, we got great, Chris Mitchell, Bo Collins. I mean, we got dudes. But what do you think about quarterback room? Oh, it's a great group.
Oh, man.
That man he said, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it. I'm always learning, never applying the knowledge. I done talked to everybody in the building I need to talk to. I know every new receiver. I know what they good at. What do I need? What else?
Boy, you are a fool, man.
Seriously.
You are a fool. That's what you picked up on?
Man, Riley came in here like he just got there. Oh, man, the guys are great. Oh, we just learned to have a good old time bonfire. Right. We went to church together. We went to Idaho to throw. I mean, this is just, I can't believe I'm here. Steve's like, I have seen, done, talked to, and had the Notre Dame experience. I'm trying to play football. That's the only thing I haven't done. I have talked to every new face and everybody that's came in this building about playing football. Y'all done brought every new quarterback transfer. I done stuck through. I don't quit. I'm still here every year. But he said every year I'm here. And they keep. He said, I just got to deal with it. What do you say? Quarterback rooms every year. I'm just dealing with it. Making it work. No, that's what he said. I am making this work. Steve Angeli pissed off for greatness. He's pissed off for greatness.
Man, Steve Angeli also talked. Oh, man. You know
that's
what?
A guy, he's matured enough to where that's a guy I get behind.
I'm going to end on that note with Steve Angeli. That's enough. Lucky Ducky Podcast. Kenny Minchey gave his thoughts on what he's been working on, how the fall camp has been going, and some more things right here.
I would say a lot more confident compared to last spring and the camps before, and definitely seeing the field a lot better and better at defensive recognition.
What's just been your mindset entering this fall camp compared to last year?
Yeah, this fall camp, I would say just being more calm and just having confidence at the line of scrimmage.
Kenny, you mentioned confidence twice now. A lot of that is attributed to the guys up front. Tell us about this offensive line that is going to be protecting you and the other guys.
Yeah, we feel great about the offensive line. There's some young guys that are going to step up, but we feel confident in them. And, yeah, looking forward to this season.
And as far as your game, what is the one area that you've really focused on for fall?
I would say progressing through my reads would be the main point.
With so much competition at that position and the transfer portal being such a thing now, what was it that made you decide not to enter the transfer portal and to stay here at Notre Dame?
I would say my trust in the coaching staff and camaraderie with my teammates made me stay.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I look, and this is not a shot. When I was watching and listening, I heard that transfer portal question, and I was just like, for real? Like, he's a freshman. At least let him get to his sophomore through his sophomore season before we start asking him about. He's a student at Notre Dame. Nobody's transferring after 1 year. And dude, like, what are we talking? I was just like, all right, Steve, getting that question, I understand. I didn't understand Kenny getting the question, but I was like, wow. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, Kenny comes off as a guy that things are starting to click. He's starting to put the puzzle pieces together. Things starting to make sense. And he's starting to realize, like, hey, okay, I can do this, and I'm getting better each day. A guy that's progressing. You know, it's not like Steve, who's like, man, I done progressed. I done progressed as much as progression you can get. I'm ready to play. Kenny's like, oh, so I'm putting some things together. If I get this going, y'all gonna be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I get from him. That's why he keep saying comment. He's like, yeah, I ain't hit a couple passes. I done looked off 1 or 2 times. That shit worked. I said, okay. He's starting to find himself. You know, that's usually what happens. Your red shirt's all here. That's why you're like, man, I need to be playing. What are we doing?
I think, like you said, he's starting to find himself. And they even said, like you've mentioned confidence, like the first 2 times. It's like, yeah, I'm starting to realize, like, I'm the best in the room. It's like, oh, I'm starting to realize, like, already knew as a freshman I had the best arm. I had the best arm last year. With Sam Hartman here, I had the best arm in the room, right? Steve is still here. I was better, man. I was better than him last year. Now, the urgency is showing up. Now, the attention to detail is showing up. Now, all the things they've been asking me to do, I'm doing consistently. Now it's time to go put on a show, which is why the question that came up early in the show, like, no, CJ has to earn it. Well, CJ's running with the 4th. That's because Kenny is running with the 3rds. Kenny's earned that position. He's earned that position. And if Steve doesn't mess up or Steve doesn't watch out, he's going to have somebody like Quincy Hall coming up on the inside.
And Steve Angeli understands that. He's like, listen, bro, y'all got Kenny and CJ on my back.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Riley coming out of nowhere with a big old bag y'all done paid him. And I can't get none of that. So this is my last year, man. Y'all pushing me out, holding me back. That's the type of energy we need that's going to prevail through a tough season. So Steve Angeli's lined up mentally the right way to be the starter this year.
Somebody said Kenny needs to gain some size. No, bro, you need Kenny bigger than CJ. Like, what are we talking about? CJ's taller, Kenny's bigger. Legs are bigger. Arm is bigger. Like what are we talking about? I see these dudes up close and personal. And CJ's not that much taller than Kenny. So what size does he need to gain? Kenny might be one of the thickest quarterbacks in the room. Honestly. He definitely has the biggest legs in the room out of all the quarterbacks. CJ Carr, ladies and gentlemen.
Both. I think my dad definitely instilled that in me from a young age, that and my mom, that what you want you gotta work for, and then coming here, kind of being around the guys and understanding that everyone's great here, and you can't just kind of do what everyone else does. You got to do a little bit more. Is the only way you'll kind of get on the field. And so I'm just trying to take that in every day.
And then what's just kind of the balance of learning from older guys like Steve and Riley, as well as like you want to put yourself in that competition too?
Yeah, I think it's more take as much from them as you can, and then just beat yourself every day. Do what you didn't do yesterday, work harder than you did yesterday, and the rest will kind of take care of itself.
CJ, you had a really exciting spring, you know, a great couple practices before the spring game. How do you build on that this fall, you know, now that, you know, you're getting some live action?
I think it's the same answer. Just coming in every day, trying to be better than I was yesterday, and not trying to compare myself to any of the other quarterbacks, but just compare myself to who I was, you know, the day before.
Yeah, I like hearing that from CJ. I like hearing that. That's a great approach, young man. Goes back to the question that was asked earlier. Like, dude, who cares where I'm at right now? My approach is to come in and make myself better each and every day. I'm not even looking at what the others are doing. I'm not comparing myself. I'm getting myself ready. If my name is called, if my number is called, I'll be ready. That's that Ashton Craig, ladies and gentlemen. You just want the kid to be ready. Whenever his number is called, if his number is called, just be ready. Just be ready. And if not, get better. It's open season next spring. It's a true quarterback battle next spring on the horizon. Get yourself ready. Get yourself prepared for the opportunity to be the starting quarterback for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That's it. That's it. That's what it comes down to. Lucky Lefty podcast. I really think, as I said before, I don't go by, I'm not talking about this weight, height stuff. You look at the body type, Kenny Minchey has a thicker body type than CJ Carr. CJ Carr is a thin kid. I don't know how he carries his weight. I don't know when he steps on the scales what it says right now. The Kenny Minchey, especially the lower part, has him and Riley Leonard have the biggest legs. Dude, that's how they're built. Now, we want to talk about who lifts more, who weighs more up top. I don't know. I just know on site, Kenny Minchey visually carries his weight in a more compact, thicker frame than CJ Carr. Those are my eyes. Can't speak about anybody else's eyes. My eyes, they do a good job for me, not deceiving me. They work to this point, so I'm going to stick to those. So, any more GTB questions, super chats? Make sure before we get out of here. Tomorrow we'll talk about Max Bullock and his backers. Max Bullock and his linebackers. We'll to them on tomorrow's show, and we'll have a special guest to talk about the linebacker position and what to expect from those linebackers on tomorrow's show. This week we're going to be Monday, not tomorrow. I said that wrong. This week our schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll be attending practices at Naperville North, Simeon, and other schools, watching some of the commits in the 25 class and also some of the players that Notre Dame is recruiting in the 2026 class. So that's my Tuesday and my Thursday. We'll be doing shows Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this week, and they will be evening shows at 6:30. Evening shows at 6:30. Left has practices early in the morning this week, so that's how we're going to roll this week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, right here, Lucky Lefty podcast. We talked about Gino Guidugli, what he had to say about the offense, his quarterbacks. We heard from Riley Leonard, Kenny Minchey, Steve Angeli, and CJ Carr. And the LL question of the day was fill in the blank. Notre Dame is close to. Notre Dame is close or getting closer to. We discussed that and a lot more. So tap in. CFB Nation, audio edibles each and every day. Patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Subscribe on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button. We greatly appreciate you. Leave your comments because we respond to all. For Left, SD2 Mics. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I keep saying tomorrow. We'll see you guys Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. right here. Lucky Lefty podcast talking about Max Bullock, previewing the linebackers. And then we're going to have our brother, man, locked on ACC, locked on college football, Ken Gibbs. He's going to preview every single team on the Notre Dame schedule out of the ACC. Every single team on the Notre Dame schedule, we're going to preview them on Wednesday night right here on the Lucky Lefty podcast. So tap in with us. All right. We appreciate you guys. Have a great Monday evening, great Tuesday. But most of all, you got to make sure that you continue to spin it different.